Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 18 want to present about the effect of social media on interpersonal communication among final year FBPU students. We have 5 members in our group, which is Syaza, Najwa, 1 Nur Syakirah, Nur Sophia, Nur Zafirah, Amni, and Nurul Shahidah. We cover background of the problem, second, research problem, third, research question, fourth, objective of the study, significance of the study, scope of the study, and lastly, chapter summary. So my name is Syaza, this is Shamsol Kamal, my number matrix is 1171244. So in introduction, the video discuss interpersonal communication is communication between two individuals who have formed connected relationship. Interpersonal communication will therefore take place between the employer and the employee, between two siblings, one teacher and a student, or two people or students. 4 categories describe interpersonal communication skills. First, communication involving verbal, non-verbal, listening, and listening skills. Second, dispute resolution and negotiating skills. Third, skills in cooperation and teamwork. Fourth, and cross-cultural skills. Here, the internet enables people to connect globally with each other through many social networking sites. A report by Global State Study found more than 32% of social media use in Malaysia. The most frequently used social media by mention of are 79% Facebook, 5% Twitter, 4% YouTube, and 3% Instagram. This online sharing of information and also enhances improvement of people communication skills, particularly among students and student scholars and youth, to make association with each other and find it engaging or alert. Most of these life activities require communication skills and seek in establishing relationships with each other people. To move towards globalization, Malaysia needs a skilled workforce on human capital and possesses strong interpersonal communication skills, particularly in education. Interpersonal skills become so natural that students take it for granted, never thinking about how they communicate with each other. Therefore, the aim of this research is to define students' interpersonal communication skills and their self-confidence. The effect of self-confidence on interpersonal communication has been analyzed quantitatively and in accordance with real student faculty of major English studies.
Okay, my name is Zafirah, Binti, Yusop. My matric number is 1171261. The statement of the research problem for this study is lack of communication in the class. Learning can be described as a process that is related to the acquisition of knowledge and skills so that students can learn and understand it clearly and effectively. However, learning and teaching cannot be implemented effectively without a good interpersonal communication. This can be a problem when some final year students of the Faculty of Major Language Studies FBPU have problem in communicating in the class. Students who lack in communication are usually classified in the category of shy and feel anxious to engage in arguments and discussions while attending tutorial classes. According to Yusop 2008, a situation like that occurs due to the lack of interpersonal communication skills in students. Lack of interpersonal communication will minimize the reception of learning information that can lead to confusion and misunderstanding about a topic. Feelings of shame and lack of self-confidence will cause learning to not be able to run well, let alone without effective communication. Furthermore, nowadays, a piece of degree held by a student is not able to guarantee that he or she will definitely get a job when he or she graduates. The demand for human resources with the skills required by employers is very high. Therefore, the students should equip themselves with other skills, especially in interpersonal communication skills, in addition to excellent academic achievement skills. Next is research questions. Specifically, this study was conducted to answer 3 questions. First is, what is the level of the students' understanding of interpersonal communication? Second, what is the social media used to improve the level of interpersonal communication among students? And third, what is the level of effectiveness of social media on interpersonal communication among students? In conducting this study, the researchers also have outlined 3 objectives of the study. First is to identify the level of the students' understanding of interpersonal communication. Second, to identify the social media used to improve the level of interpersonal communication among students. Third, to identify the level of effectiveness of social media on interpersonal communication among students. Then, the significance of this study was conducted to make some parties aware of the importance of interpersonal communication skills among students. This is because interpersonal communication skills are very important in students, in addition to intellectual skills. Third, this study was conducted will provide benefits and importance to several parties such as students, lecturers, and university. To students, the significance of this study is to provide the awareness to the students that interpersonal communication skills are a very important interaction which is needed in our lives. The knowledge of these skills must apply with social media in order to actively and increase self-confidence. Furthermore, this study will provide awareness to the students that excellence in academics is not enough if they have no interpersonal communication skills. And then lecturers, the significance of this study is to provide the knowledge to the lecturer on the importance of learning activities in the classroom and outside the classroom that is able to apply various effective interpersonal communication skills in terms of delivery and adaptation of students' learning. And lastly, to the university, the significance of this study is to provide the knowledge to the university on the level of interpersonal communication skills of students before entering the world of work. This is because the university can see the suitable of the university curriculum with the elements of interpersonal communication skills that must be applied. This situation allows the university to plan and develop various programs in ensuring that the fresh graduates are able to meet the needs of the country and in accordance with the needs of the job market.
Of social media on interpersonal communication. The study will focus for final year students of faculty major English studies at a population who have access of social media for communication. The data collection will be conducted to 140 students in semester 1, 2020-2021, who will represent the sample. The study will be held in University of The researchers have presented the background of the study, research problems, objectives, research questions, significance, and scope of the study. Interpersonal communication and social media are related and must be researched in order to understand the use of social media and to understand the extent of efficacy of social media in interpersonal communication between students.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Syakirah and I'm going to continue for this chapter 2, which is literature review. Okay, so for the subtopic 1, which is regarding past research related to this topic. Okay, as for this topic is related to social media and interpersonal communication. So the keywords that we use to search for the articles regarding this topic is these two keywords, which is social media and also interpersonal communication. So as we go through and search for the articles that are suitable for our study, for our research, so we had a short list about 8 past research that regarding our topic is conceptualization. So why would we choose the topic, which is the effect of social media on interpersonal communication among final year students of Faculty of Major Language Studies? Why would we choose this topic? Because we know that each of us, we are focusing on final year students of FBPU. So when we are focusing on final year students, of course, each of us have smartphones and get connected with the society with the social media. So we want to know if the social media would help the students or give bad effects. We want to know how the students use the social media and what would the social media give to them. That's what we want to study in this research. That's why we find out this topic to study more about it. Okay, June 2010 said that this theory focused on benefits that will attract and hold users to variety media with various contents that will comply the user's psychological and social needs. That is why we chose this theory, because in our research we want to know what is the purpose or what is their objective in using the social media, what is the final year students' purposes in using media. Do they want to search for information seeking, social interaction, or freedom of expression, or enjoyment, or social presence, or belongingness, or social identity? We don't know. So that's why we want to study about the purpose, about why would they use the social media. What is your purpose? That's what we're gonna discuss in this research. In general, feeling and in-depth discussions have been elaborated related to social media and interpersonal communication. Preliminary research and research on both are very important to see the similarities and differences between these two keywords. So, however, different cultures show difference in the usage of social media to fulfill social needs. The continuity of the technology that develops social media needs to be controlled and supervised to spread various positive effects. Thank you.
Nurul Sophia Binti Mahyudin. Next, we move to Chapter 3 Methodology, so called as a systematic procedures to gathering data. This research is a quantitative study. Typically, quantitative analysis methodology declares responses to where, when, and who questions, and also do not properly react to why or how a phenomenon occurs. Final year students of FPBU are the sample for this research, the effect of social media on interpersonal communication. Questionnaires via Google Form is an online survey. Next, SPSS is the software that we are used to analyze the data in this research. Thank you.
Regarding to the questionnaire, we have provided 4 sections in this Google form. Section A is demographic background. This demographic information allows us to have better understanding on certain background characteristics such as age, gender and previous educational background. In section B, we aim to identify the level of understanding of FBPU students towards interpersonal communication based on 10 questions provided, which is related to the concept of interpersonal communication. And then in terms of knowing the usage of social media and its frequency among students, we have constructed some questions for section C in order to identify the social media used to improve interpersonal communication. And lastly, for section D, 13 questions has been asked that allow us to analyze the level of effectiveness of social media on interpersonal communication among FBPU students.